Good morning, grade 9. Today we are starting topic 2 from maths 2, that is parallel lines. Now in this two diagrams you can see in first diagram there are two lines L and M, and T line is transversal of these two lines. In second diagram P and Q are two lines and line S is transversal for these two lines. Now you know that what is difference between this diagram and this diagram. These two lines are not parallel, and line P and Q, these two lines are parallel to each other. Both are cut by 1 transversal. You know what do you mean by parallel lines? You have studied in your lower classes. So parallel lines are nothing but lines which are coplanar. That means they lie in the same plane and they do not intersect each other. Whereas two lines with, now if I extend this over here, somewhere over here, then these are going to intersect each other. So the L and M are not parallel lines, but P and Q are parallel lines. Both are cut by 1 transversal. Now whether the lines are parallel or they are not parallel, whenever two lines are cut by transversal, you know there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 angles formed in both the cases, whether the lines are parallel or they are not parallel. Now what are those angles? That also you have studied in your 8th standard. So let us just quickly revise. We know you have corresponding angles. There are 4 pairs. You can see over here. I'll quickly revise. A and B is one pair. E and F is another pair. C and D is one pair. G and H is one pair. I have explained these angles, why they are called as corresponding angles and how to identify in a separate video. You can go through it. Alright. So in short, I want to tell you there are 4 pairs of corresponding angles. Then you have alternate angles. Alternate angles are of two types. You have alternate exterior angles and alternate interior angles. Mind well, alternate interior angles are different from this interior angles. This interior comes under alternate. It is a type of alternate angles. And this is separate angle. Alright. So let us first see what do you mean by alternate exterior angles. Now which are alternate exterior angles? In both the cases it is applicable. Alright. Angle A and angle H. You can see A is at this side and H is at this side. So these two is one pair, exterior. This is another pair, C and F. Interior E, D and G, B. See, E, D and G, B. These are alternate interior angles. Alternate angles, one angle is on one side, another angle is on another side. Okay, so like this you have again in all 4 pairs of alternate angles, in that 2 are exterior and 2 are interior. Alright, now third category of angles which are found are interior angles. Interior means lying inside, that is between two lines, need not be parallel, between two lines and inside. Therefore, they are called as interior angles and on same side of transversal. So, G and D is one pair, E and B forms another pair. Okay. So, this is one pair and this is one pair of interior angles. And another angle, whenever any two lines they cross each other, then the angles which are formed are nothing but opposite to each other, are called as vertically opposite angles. You know that if you consider this pair C and E, see these are. Okay, then arms of this, both the angles if you extend, they form opposite rays. That is what we have seen in our lower classes. One arm of angle E is this, one arm of angle C is this. See, you see, these two are forming opposite rays. They are forming straight line. Even these two. If I extend this line, then this line and this line. One arm belongs to C, one arm belongs to E. This also form a straight line or they are opposite rays. So just angles which are opposite to each other, they are called vertically opposite angles. In this case, how many pairs are there? 1, 2, 3 and 4. So you have 4 pairs of vertically opposite angles. So DF, HB. CE is one pair, angle G and angle A forms another pair. Okay, so whenever any two lines, whether they are parallel or they are not parallel, when they are intersected by a transversal, then you get in all 4 pairs of corresponding angles, 4 pairs of alternate angles, 2 pairs of interior angles, and vertically opposite angles are also 4. Alright? Only if two lines intersect like this, then also you have, see, angle A and angle B. These are vertically opposite angles. Angle P and angle Q. These form one pair of vertically opposite angles. So here requirement of transversal is not there. Any two lines when they intersect, here for example these two lines are intersecting, okay, you are going to get, if two lines intersect, you get 2 pairs of vertically opposite angles. When it comes to transversal, then you have these 3 angles, corresponding alternate and interior angles. Okay, I hope you have understood. This was just revision of 8th standard to know which are what angles. If you have forgotten, then you may pause the video and take down all the pairs. Okay, now let's revise some important properties. Now see here, whenever this condition is there, two lines and they are cut by transversal, when two lines intersect, pair of opposite angles formed are always congruent. So any two lines, if they intersect, vertically opposite angles in any case, here also, here also, here also, here also, in any case, vertically opposite angles will always be congruent. Okay, because it is the question of only two lines. And when they intersect, that means parallel line question and transversal does not arise in case of vertically opposite angles. Any two lines when they intersect, pair of vertically opposite angles will always be congruent. Now second is, angles in linear pair are always supplementary. See, these two angles are in linear pair, they are supplementary. These two are in linear pair, supplementary. We have studied this property also in 8th standard. Whenever angles are in linear pair, they are always supplementary. What do you mean by supplementary? Their sum of measures will be 180 degree. Two angles will add up to form 180 degree angle. Now third property, if by chance among these 4, if one pair of corresponding angle is congruent, then all the remaining pairs of corresponding angles will be automatically congruent. Alright, that goes for alternate angles also. Alright, so when one pair of alternate angle is congruent, if one pair is congruent, then the remaining all the pairs of alternate angles will be congruent. Now in case of interior angles, we have, when one pair of interior angle on one side of the transversal is supplementary, that means G plus D, if we are getting addition as 180 degree, then the other pair of alternate angle is also supplementary. If you get G plus D is 180, we are bound to get E plus B will also be equal to 180. Okay, these are general properties. If one pair is congruent, others will be congruent. Now let us see when is this one pair going to be congruent. Then we move to the another concept, and that is properties of parallel lines. So let's go quickly through it. I have shifted this interior angle pairs over here because I need to write this over here. Okay. Now see students, what I told you, we have just now seen the properties. If one pair of corresponding angle, these two angles are equal, remaining all pairs will be equal. That is what we have seen, isn't it? That means in this pair, if these two are equal, in this pair, these two will be equal. But the question is when these two angles will be equal, and that comes when we talk about parallel lines. So properties of parallel lines. Now when condition is if these two lines are parallel and they are cut by a transversal. If two parallel lines are intersected by a transversal, first is interior angles on either side of the transversal are supplementary. That means what? These two form one pair of interior angle. See, we have written here, these two form one pair of interior angle. Now, when is one pair going to be supplementary? That means G plus D will be 180 degree. That is when the lines will be parallel. And if one pair is supplementary, another pair will also be supplementary. That means if two lines are parallel, then interior angles on either side of the transverse are supplementary. And this is called as interior angle theorem. So, interior angle theorem comes when lines are parallel and cut by transversal. Similarly, if lines are parallel and cut by transversal, then corresponding angles are of equal measure. This is one pair of corresponding angles. C and D we have seen. C and D is one pair of corresponding angle. So, if lines are parallel, angle C will be equal to angle D. Another pair is A and B. Angle A will be equal to angle B. But C will not be equal to A. Are you understanding me? This is corresponding with this. So these two will have equal measure. It does not mean that all corresponding angles which are forming pair will have equal measures. You understand? C will be equal to D, G will be equal to H. But C and G need not be equal. Are you understanding me? Angles in one pair will be equal. Whatever is A will be B. Whatever is E will be G. Are you understanding me? Angle C will be equal to angle D, angle G will be equal to angle H. So in a pair, one pair, both the angles will be equal. Okay? That is when two lines are parallel. Similarly, it goes for alternate angles. If two lines are parallel and intersected by a transversal, then alternate angles are of equal measures. Alternate angles, you know, they form Z in case of interior. Alternate angle, so angle E will be exactly equal to D. When this will happen? If lines are parallel. G will be equal to B. A will be equal to H and C will be equal to F. C will be equal to F. So in a pair, here there will be equal to sign. When the lines will be parallel. So here everywhere instead of and, they will be equal if the lines are parallel for these two. And that is called as corresponding angle theorem and interior angle theorem. And in this case, what sign will come? This plus this will be equal to 180. That is to say that when lines are parallel and cut by transversal, interior angles are supplementary, corresponding angles are equal, and alternate angles are also equal. That is not the case over here. Here the lines are not parallel. Okay? So that's all for introduction, students. We'll stop. Thank you.